Hey, have you thought about moving to Scottsdale, Arizona? Well, stick around because in this video, I'm actually going to take you on a map tour, and I'm going to hop on my computer here in just a minute, and I'm going to show you kind of some sights to see, places to eat, things to do in and around Scottsdale. Scottsdale's very spread out, so we're going to kind of start in the southern part of Scottsdale, which is Old Town, and we'll work our way up all the way up north around the Mountain Preserve. So with that in mind, sit back and relax, and we'll get after it right now. Hey, if this is your first time to the channel and you want to know everything there is about eating, sleeping, working, playing, the good and the bad of living in Scottsdale, then please subscribe below and be sure to tap that notification bell so you'll be the first to learn about the current market in and around the Phoenix metro area. Hi, my name is Rick, and the team and I, we get calls, text messages, and emails every single day from people just like you looking to move to Phoenix, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're moving next week, next month, or even a year from now, just give us a call, send us a text, shoot us an email, and we'd be more than happy to help you make a smooth move to the Metro Phoenix area. Okay, here we are on my computer. I've hopped on Google Maps, and I just kind of wanted to give you the lay of the land of the Metro Phoenix area in case you've never been here before. But it encompasses all of this area. This is all of Metro Phoenix, or the Valley of the Sun, you might hear it referred to. Scottsdale is just to the east of Phoenix. It actually borders it. All of this area right here. And from the southern area of Scottsdale down here to the northern area is over 30 miles in length. So it's very spread out geographically. And what I've done is I've done actually 3 vlog tours of Scottsdale. I've done kind of I've done the southern Old Town Scottsdale here. I've done what is referred to as Central Scottsdale up in this area here. And also I've done this area up here in North Scottsdale. So if you haven't seen those videos, check those out. I'll kind of give you a little bit of a feel and flavor of the things in and around those areas of Scottsdale. But that's how Scottsdale is referenced, North, South, and Central Scottsdale. It's easy to get around Metro Phoenix. We have no toll roads. So that could be good or bad depending on where you're coming from, but all the freeways are open at any time. It's a fairly simple town to get around, or city, a metroplex to get around. Everything is north, south, east, and west. There's one main freeway area that runs into Scottsdale, which is a main area here. That's called our 101 freeway. It comes up from the Southeast Valley, heads up north and curves into part of Scottsdale, over to the West Valley and back down to the southwest portion of the Metro Phoenix area. And most people access this 101 freeway, and the freeway can get you anywhere you need to go, which is really nice and convenient. But what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna focus on South Scottsdale to begin with, and that's really Old Town. That's the heart and soul of Scottsdale. Kind of show you a few of the areas around here, and then we'll slowly kind of make our way up north up into the Mountain Preserve area and point out some of the different communities and things where you might want to consider living and things to do. There really is a lot to do here in Scottsdale. A lot of people come from all over the valley. They head to Scottsdale for shopping. The entertainment district in Old Town is real popular. So I'm going to start there. This is Old Town Scottsdale. There again, it's in the southern part of Scottsdale. But let me back up just a quick minute and talk about the southern part of Scottsdale, because this is interesting. What's nice about this part of South Scottsdale, if it's of interest to you, we are close to the freeway. The airport. Here's Sky Harbor Airport. Obviously, it's our main airport coming into town. And from South Scottsdale to Sky Harbor, you can either come up the Scottsdale Road over the 202, takes you right in. Depending on what part of Scottsdale, you can come up the 101, which is really convenient, and head south or head east. But if you're in the southern part of Scottsdale to the airport, you're maybe 10 to 15 minutes max to get to the airport. So that's real convenient if you have to fly in and out quite a bit and you want to be in this part of the valley or this part of Scottsdale. That might be a consideration. As you move further up north into Scottsdale, it gets a little further away. You start moving up into this part, up in the northern Scottsdale, it might be anywhere from 30, 35, maybe 40 minutes depending on traffic. It's not too bad though. It's an easy drive down the 101 to the next freeway. You cut over, boom, you're right there at the airport. So very, very convenient. So let me go back in here in South Scottsdale. Another nice draw to this particular part of the valley of Scottsdale, if you like it, we're right adjacent to Tempe. Now, Tempe is home to Arizona State University, which is just right here. Right across the little waterway here, which is Tempe Town Lake. There again, it comes right off of Scottsdale Road. You can come off McClintock Drive. But if you have kids contemplating going to Arizona State and maybe they don't want to live on campus and you thought, gosh, I wonder if there's some housing around. There are some options around Tempe, but in South Scottsdale, you can get some of these older homes. Most of the homes in this area were built back in the 50s and 60s. There are a few little pockets of newer development, but a majority of these are older homes. I grew up in a home building family. My dad built a lot of homes back here in the late 50s, early 60s. So these are all ranch style homes, majority of them. Single level, 3-bedroom, 2-bath, maybe 4-bedroom, 2-bath home. So now if you got a son or daughter, you could buy a house and they can rent out the other 2 or 3 bedrooms. Could make a great investment opportunity for you. So that's definitely something we can help you with. So be sure and let us know if that might be of interest to you, because it is very convenient to Arizona State University. But otherwise, so you got older homes down in here, but if you move up a little further north into South Scottsdale, here's Old Town. You know, if you've ever heard of Old Town, I mean, we are in, guys, we're in cowboy country. So everything's a Southwestern flair. You got a lot of Indian jewelry that people wear, cowboy hats, cowboy boots. There's a lot of fun little shops and restaurants down in this area of Old Town. And Old Town is really, going through Old Town is not that far. It's maybe a mile and a half distance. A lot of people just get out, they'll park down around area of Old Town, then they'll just go walk. There's some amazing restaurants right down here. Scottsdale Road is our main thoroughfare that runs north and south, but there's some great little restaurants. This little Farmcraft restaurant's great. I mean, they've got little places where you can sit outside on the patios, but there's a lot of culture and diversity down here in Old Town Scottsdale. We really cater to a lot of different cuisines. You can get Mexican food, you can get American food, you can get Korean barbecue, Thai food, basic cheeseburgers and salads and all sorts of different things. But there's a lot of different choices and options down here in Old Town Scottsdale. And people just like to come down here because it's the entertainment hub and great place to come down, eat, drink. There's wine tasting in and around, like here's LDV Winery. That's a fun little place. You can go in and do some wine tasting. And there's several of these around Old Town Scottsdale. It's really a lot of fun. And you can check out my South Scottsdale blog tour that I did. And I kind of show you around some of these different areas. But if you come over here, one of the things I wanted to point out to you real quick, let me move, which is just south of Indian School Road here. There's the famed Sugar Bowl. This is an iconic little ice cream place. It's been there since the late 50s. You can't miss it. It's the pink building, and you walk inside and it's all a pink theme, but it's a throwback to the old ice cream parlor, you know, and their ice cream, you know, it's a fun place. It's just an iconic place to stop in and get some ice cream. We took our grandkids there recently, and they've got a little place in the back where you can play some games and things like that. But if you walk over into this area here of Old Town, you'll see some really interesting character and architecture on the exteriors of these buildings. And I point this out in the blog tour that I did. But it kind of reminds me of an old Western movie set, like the facade. You know, you've got some neat little places over here on Main Street. Like, for example, you got the little Rusty Spur Saloon. And it's got the little saloon doors that open up, and you go in there and you hear country music playing, and it's a popular spot, so people go down there. But you see little interesting architecture on the front of these buildings, old shake roofs, but it reminds me of an old movie set. But there's all sorts of gifts. Here's Cactus Jack Gift Shop. You've got native art over here, also more sunrise jewelry. You've got some small little boutiques. You've got some places to eat. This is a cute little Viola's is a boutique area there that you can go to. You've got more areas over on this side here that you can see. So you can literally just park anywhere down in this area of school, and you're talking a couple of blocks. So if you want to just kind of see what Old Town Scottsdale is all about, this is a neat little place. You go across the street, and they've got some nice stores there as well, but it's a little bit more modern, it's newer. This is kind of the throwback of the old part of Old Town Scottsdale, which is kind of interesting to see. If you move further north, up here in Scottsdale, if you get in between Indian School Road and Camelback Road, let me back out just a little bit. These are a mile apart in distance-wise. Oops, let me get out a little further here. Indian School to Camelback is a mile. So, and there's a lot of fun little restaurants right along this corridor here, and they'll have little patios outside, and they're all covered. From October to May, it's wonderful if you want to sit outside along Scottsdale Road there. Great place to, have your drinks, great different restaurants there. It's really a lot of fun. This place, Olive and Ivy, is a great little American restaurant. It's got a really interesting little layout and theme to it that might be of interest to you. But if you move across the street right here at Scottsdale and Camelback, this is our Scottsdale Fashion Square. This happens to be our largest mall in Scottsdale, and obviously it's the largest mall in all of Arizona. It's actually they say it's one of the top indoor malls in all the country. So there's a lot of high-end fashion. There's a Nordstrom's, there's a Neiman Marcus, there's Coach and Gucci, and all the high-end stores that you can shop at. And they also have some nice regular store. There's a Dick's Sporting Goods in there that's real popular. They've got a lot of good restaurants in there. You can go hang out and eat in some of the restaurants. They got a Lululemon in there. Here's a Pandora Jewelry. Lots of parking around there, so you shouldn't have a problem finding a place to park. And they've got lots of, they've got Victoria's Secrets in there, and they've got some other fun things to do for the kids. But it's a great indoor mall, especially in the summertime when it's hot. You get out of the heat and go up there and really get some nice shopping. One other thing I wanted to point out, right up here, it's kind of interesting. Right in this area here, they're actually building a new hotel, and it is Caesar's Palace. So if you've been to Vegas, it's going to be Caesar's Palace, but the only caveat to that is there's no gaming. So you can't, it's their first non-gaming hotel, and it's under construction now, and it's scheduled to open, I think, in the next year or two. But that's an interesting place you might want to check out to possibly stay there. Scottsdale is known for its hotels. You got the Scottsdale Resort, Embassy Suites, all over here. Here's another Embassy Suites. They go up and down Scottsdale Road all the way to the north. So there's plenty of places to stay if you come in to visit. There's lots of activities to do. So that's kind of in and around Scottsdale a little bit. Here's our main hospital that services Honor Health. It services downtown Scottsdale in the South Scottsdale area. There's also one up in Central Scottsdale, I'll point out in a minute. If you're a baseball fan, if you like the outdoors, right here is home to our spring training, the Scottsdale Stadium, which is the San Francisco Giants. I think we have about 17 different teams that come here for the month of March for spring training. So a lot of people come into town for that event if you like baseball. But here in South Scottsdale, this is the home of the San Francisco Giants. And then there's another place I'll show you here in a minute further up in Central Scottsdale area, which is home to the Arizona Diamondbacks and also the Colorado Rockies. So great to do if you like baseball, and there's several other stadiums around the Metro Phoenix area that you can catch a game or two if you like that. There's lots of golf courses. Metro Phoenix is a mega for golf. I'm sure you've probably read that if you're a golfer. Scottsdale alone has over 40 courses. They've got some of these little smaller executive courses in downtown Scottsdale that you can get on. Very affordable courses. And a lot of them are right here in this little greenbelt area that you can get to. Lots of parks, lots of areas to hike around or walk around the Chaparral Park. This is a popular spot to walk around. There's a water feature, and you can also fish in that lake, by the way. There's Chaparral Lake. It's called Chaparral Park. There's a dog park just north of there that you can go and hang out. If you've got dogs, there's lots of dog parks throughout the Metro Phoenix area. So those are real popular destinations for your animal lovers. But you'll see there's these little greenbelt areas, and they're twofold. They're one, they act as a little park area, places where you can walk around. They got little water features in them, but they also serve as water runoff when it rains. Now the good news is we don't get a ton of rain, so for the most of the year they're nice and cleared out, so it shouldn't be too much of a problem. We do have one of our Continental golf courses. This is a little executive course, smaller course, but it's affordable to get on, and you can go around and just play a round of golf there if that's important to you. We're known for our tennis courts. If you love to play tennis, we got lots of tennis courts here in the valley as well, and all throughout the Scottsdale area. But let me take you up a little further north here. If you move a little further north from Old Town Scottsdale and kind of work your way up more into the kind of the central corridor, there you got more hotels. There's that dog park I talked about earlier. McCormick Ranch is a very popular destination. It's actually the oldest master plan community in Scottsdale. And I believe also the southwestern states as well. It was built back in the early 70s. So it's celebrating 50 years this year, but it's really known for their community and their waterways and their 2 18-hole golf courses there, fun courses to play on. They do have a few little waterways, and they do have some water property that you can live on if that's something you might want to entertain, because that could be a great option for you. I wanted to show you, where is that here? Oh, this McCormick Stillway Railroad Park. Let me point that out first, because I do show that in one of my in the South Scottsdale blog. This is a fun destination for families and for kids. We used to take our kids here all the time, but this is everything about trains. If your kids love trains, it's a great place to come. They've got a little miniature train that goes around the park. It's about a 10-minute ride, and they've got a lot of grass area out there with picnic tables and cabanas that you can rent. We even had a birthday party here a few years ago for our grandson. That was a lot of fun. They've got a great little playground area with slides and swings and all sorts of things you can do with your kids. But it's neat. They even have, they've got a building in the back. It's about 10,000 square feet where they've got little miniature train towns, and you can walk through that, and you can see all the little workings of the town, which is pretty cool. But it's all things trains, and they do have an old carousel, kind of a historic carousel ride too, if your kids like that. But we take our kids down there, and especially over the holidays with Halloween coming up. Christmas is a big time of year for them. They decorate it. It's all lit up with lights throughout, and it's a fun place to take the kids. Santa even comes for a visit, and you can go over there and see him. But it's you can get hot chocolate there in the wintertime. The weather, obviously, around Christmas time starts getting pretty cold around here, believe it or not. So you want to bundle up with your kids, but it's really a lot of fun. So I highly recommend you. That's one of the stops you can do when you're here in town. But McCormick Ranch is a popular destination to live in, and there again, they've got some wonderful shops and restaurants to eat in. You move a little further north here. Oh, let me back up here. One thing I forgot to point out. On the Indian reservation, we do have 2 casinos. If that's something of interest to you, we have our Casino Arizona Talking Stick. They also have a hotel there, but they've got all your slot machines and all your machine games, plus your table games as well. And down in South Scottsdale, I forgot to point that out, is another one called Casino Arizona down in the southern part. So you can go over there, you can go right across the freeway. It's a short little drive over, and you can go over and hang out and gamble if that's something important to you. We do have our community college, Scottsdale Community College here down in the southern part. But up in this area here is kind of interesting. You got the Talking Stick Golf Club, which is part of the next to the casino. You've got the Pangea Land of the Dinosaurs. That's a fun little place to take kids. You've got the Butterfly Wonderland. That's a large indoor area of just hundreds of different species of butterflies that you can go check out. There's also an aquarium. It's a fairly new aquarium. It's been built, I think, about 6 years ago. But it's 2 million gallons of water with all sorts of different sea life there. That's definitely worth seeing. You can take your kids there. All of these are some nice places, especially in the summertime when it gets hot. We've got a place called Medieval Times. That's a dinner. That's all about horses indoor, and they put on it's kind of like a dinner program, and you can watch jousting and different things that they do. Great thing to do here in Phoenix. I know we went to one in Dallas, and it's very similar, but that's something that's brand new. It just opened up, gosh, I think maybe last year possibly. So it's brand new. But you've got some really, really neat things to do. So there's plenty of things to do. There's one other item down here, iFly Indoor Skydiving. If you've wanted to skydive, or you maybe want to test it out and see what it's like, they got a whole indoor facility that you can go and you can fly around in the tube, which is kind of fun. Moving up a little further north up, let me go back up in this area here. So this is kind of the central corridor. Shea Boulevard is our east-west boundary line. It takes it all the way over to the 51, which is our Phoenix freeway that goes north and south. Or if you take it out east, it takes you to the town of Fountain Hills. But this is a heavily traveled roadway here, east and west into Scottsdale, the central Scottsdale. Here again is our other hospital that we have here, Honor Health, similar to the one that I just showed you down South Scottsdale. 3 of our kids were born in this hospital here, which is very nice. This is an area here. This is another waterway similar to McCormick Ranch. This is called Scottsdale Ranch. I talk a little bit about that in my central Scottsdale vlog tour, so you can check that out. This is where I got my start in real estate. But several high-end properties on the water, if that's something important to you. They've got an amazing 60-plus acre park here with 18 lighted tennis courts. They got sand volleyball. They do have cabanas and things like that you can go and just hang out. They have a Boys and Girls Club right adjacent to it over here, as well as one of the top-rated elementary schools in Scottsdale. That's one of the things Scottsdale's really known for, is their high-rated elementary and middle and high schools. So you can definitely check those out. If you go a little further east on Scottsdale Road, you've got Basis Scottsdale for charter schools. This is actually voted recently one of the top charter schools in all the country. So if that's something of interest to you, you can check that out as well. And we also have our Mayo Clinic. We're one of 3 states besides Florida and Minnesota that have the Mayo Clinic and also the Mayo Hospital. Very wonderful clinic. A lot of top-rate doctors from all over the world that come here and work here. They see about 1 million plus patients a year, and they say they come in from over 130 countries. So it's a really upscale hospital and clinic area. I know this was very important to my folks when they were still living. Spent many a times there at different doctors' appointments with them, and they really got some wonderful care. But so that's one of the hospitals. If you go up here a little further north, up in this area here of the central Scottsdale area, we have our McDowell Sonoran Preserve. And that runs this whole area all up in here. It's literally over 30,000 acres of preserved desert mountains. That's our mountain region, which it's all desertscape. For hiking, you can horseback ride, you can trail ride, mountain bike. People run up and down the mountains on these trails, but it's just a mega playground. Very popular destinations. Obviously in the summertime, you got to go early in the morning before the extreme heat kicks in. But you start getting now, we're early in October, the weather's starting to turn. It's getting cooler, much cooler in the mornings and the evenings. And so it'll be nice all the way through May. But great place to go and just hang out if you like to get outdoors and hike and mountain bike and do those kinds of things. There's also, there's a golf course over here. There's Orange Tree Golf Course. That's a popular golf course to participate. Here's Scottsdale, the Scottsdale Golf Course as well. This area here, I talk a little bit about in our central vlog tour. This is some interesting horse property. If you like horses and you want to be in town, this has been here for many, many years. Most of these homes were built back in the 60s. Matter of fact, my in-laws lived there and they had horse property. But you can buy property that's already fixed up, or you can go in and fix it up yourself. But no HOA in this area here, which is nice, so you don't have some of the restrictions. Great place for horses if you want to be, like I said, more in town without being on the fringes outside of Scottsdale and other areas of the town. But you move a little further north, you got the McDowell Mountain Golf Course. Now, when I did my north tour, or my North Scottsdale tour, there's 3 areas that I focused in on. And I did it because I wanted to be close to the 101 freeway that I was telling you about earlier. And that was Grayhawk Golf Club. You've got DC Ranch, which is very popular. And I also did McDowell Mountain Ranch. All 3 of these, McDowell Mountain Ranch and Grayhawk, are all public courses. Grayhawk has 2 championship golf courses. Matter of fact, this used to be home to Phil Mickelson when he was here in town going to Arizona State University. He played out of this Grayhawk golf course. Very nice golf courses, but they're public. Good layouts. You go over here to DC Ranch, you get into DC Ranch in the Silverleaf area. These are private courses, so there's an equity membership to join those courses. Very nice, though. If you can get on, it's definitely worth playing. Both courses are extremely nice, challenging. You come down here to McDowell Mountain Ranch. This is open to the general public. So there again, no problem getting on that course as another option. We're also, this is a very popular destination, the Westin Kierland Resort. It also has a golf course, but man, it's a great hotel to stay in if you're up this way. We also have the Taliesin West. If you're into architecture, this was the home to Frank Lloyd Wright. This was his winter home, and it's still active today. But they do tours. They do daily and weekly tours. You can check out all about what he's probably the most famous architect out there. But he was very kind of linear in nature with his designs. He believed in bringing the outside in. He tried to keep with the theme of the area that he was designing. So when you go up there, he used a lot of the local terrain and rocks and stuff like that to build this particular complex that he had up there. But it's worth seeing it if you haven't been up there. Over here, this is our TPC golf course. The greatest show on grass. You probably heard that. This is the famed Phoenix Open / Waste Management golf course. This is where we have our tournament every year, the first week in February. It is the most popular golf tournament in all the PGA Tour. Also has the most attendance. When the weather's good, if we get a week of no rain, it's not uncommon to have upwards of 600,000 people attend this golf course. And when they built this golf course up in North Scottsdale, it's a stadium course, so it was designed to have a lot of fans on it. They've got the famed 16th hole, which is completely enclosed, and that's an amazing par 3 golf hole, and the pros really like it. We also have up in this area here, let me zoom in a little bit, we have Westworld. We have our famed Westworld. We have Arabian horse shows throughout the year here. We also have, you might have heard of the Barrett Jackson car auction. It's a famed, it's their largest car auction dealer, that they have throughout the year. And you can literally you can go in there and walk around and see hundreds and hundreds of high-end old cars up for auction. It's definitely worth seeing. And that runs in January. So there's a lot of things to do throughout the year. You got this in the end of January, early part of February, you have the golf tournament. You also have in the month of March, you have spring training games. And there's all sorts of things to do here in Scottsdale throughout the year. You've got the home and garden shows. You've got RV. You got the RV shows. It seems like there's always something going on, every month and sometimes every couple of weeks where you can get out and really have some fun and do some different things. Or just like I said, there's just plenty to do. If you move a little farther north, and I didn't cover this in my blog tour, but I'll be doing this in future video tours. But you get up, you got True North, you got Pinnacle Peak. That's a very popular hiking area up there as well. True North, they got golf up there too. Wonderful golf up there. You move up further north, you got Legend Trail. That's another public golf course you can play. And then you get up into the very, very north area of Scottsdale, and this is called Desert Mountain. There's actually 7 golf courses in this area of Desert Mountain, all designed by Jack Nicklaus. Matter of fact, I don't know if they still do. I know at one point they used to have one of their major golf tournaments here up in Desert Mountain for the senior PGA. High-end homes up there on the golf course, up in the mountains. It's an incredible layout. Called Desert Mountain Golf Club, and like I said, they've got 7 golf courses that you can play on. But over here, our main water source, if you like water, is Bartlett Lake. It's right here, just in the outskirts of North Scottsdale. From this area in North Scottsdale, it takes you probably maybe 25 minutes to get to the lake. Now, we don't have, and we've got some other lakes here I'll show you in just a minute, but we don't have any property to live on the lake. You can go up there and they have boating and kayaking, doing all the water sports that you want to do. And they do have a marina. You can store your boat up there. They do have houseboats up there, so I guess you could live on a houseboat. But as far as any homes in and around the lakes, we don't have that here in the Metro Phoenix area. So, and those are our main waterways where you can have motorboats and stuff up there. We also have another lake over here, which is Lake Pleasant, one of our largest lakes, just on the outskirts of town, not far from Scottsdale. Depending on where you're coming from in North Scottsdale or Central Scottsdale, it's going to take you probably 45 minutes to get up there. But it's a great lake. It's got the full marina and all of that. And then you've got some others down here. You've got Saguaro Lake. Used to do a lot of boating on Saguaro Lake. And you've got some other lakes along the waterway up here. You've got Canyon Lake. This is This was always one of my favorite lakes growing up here. It's a little challenging to get to because you got to come in from the Southeast Valley. It takes a little bit to get there. Over here is Apache Lake, and then you have another big lake here, which is Roosevelt Lake. That's gonna take you probably a couple hours to get to. But those are some of our main waterways, and there again, there are no houses around these lakes, other than just maybe a houseboat or two if you want to stay on the water. So that kind of gives you a feel for really the lay of the land of Scottsdale. I just want to take you through on this quick little tour, just to kind of give you an idea. But if you check out those other vlog tours I've done in South Scottsdale, Central Scottsdale, North Scottsdale, give you a little bit more idea on what Scottsdale is all about and some of the housing. So that's it for now on this video. So I hope you enjoy it. There again, if we can help you in any way, if you're looking for an investment property, you're looking for maybe a starter home, more expensive home, Scottsdale's going to set you back. I mean, the average price home here is close to $1 million right now. There is some fluctuation. Prices are starting to come down a little bit, but it's still fairly high as it relates to the rest of the Metro Phoenix area. But there are some condos, some of the older homes you can get for less. So just let us know how we can help you. Be sure and give us a call. You can text us, shoot us an email. We'd be happy to help you in any way we can. So until next time, hey, we hope to show you around town.